It's day 2. We are on the road this morning. I don't know where we're going. You've really co-opted this whole thing. Where are we going?
We're going to the Enchanted Forest.
Oh, what's in there?
I think it's like a little amusement park. You walk around, like storybook land. That kind of thing.
Sounds weird.
Yeah. Looks weird.
Weird is good. Sometimes weird is good. Well, that place was a trip.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I liked it a lot. Kind of weird.
Definitely weird. Probably haunted.
My understanding is that it was built in the 1970s by like this one guy who probably had money and just started with like making sculptures of fairy tales and stuff, say public domain type stuff, and filled up this kind of Disneyland's ugly step cousin. Just in the
definitely uglier than Disneyland by far.
Profoundly uglier than Disneyland.
Some of the things were quite grotesque. Sounds menacing. You go first. I think she's got fangs.
But overall, it was actually pretty cute for being like a random, like built on a hill. The entire park is slanted.
Yeah.
Right? They just built it on a hill out in the woods.
Out in the forest.
And when we initially walked up, I was a little concerned.
Yeah.
Because not that
it didn't look super impressive.
Yeah, not that it was bad looking, but it was just kind of like, okay, here's some little music, and here's a couple sculptures of fairy tales. And so here we are outside of the public domain dwarves' famous cabin in the woods. Everyone's favorite 7 dwarves, who are of course named Dingy, Smiley, Lumpy, Wheezy, Snoozy, Grouchy,
What's this guy?
Droopy.
They largely focused on Humpty Dumpty, which I feel like is not the best one to put
Humpty Dumpty
forward.
Was a terrifying monstrosity.
But I feel like he was on all the signs. That wasn't great.
Yeah, why is it? Why is Humpty Dumpty of all things? He's always like prominently featured.
Yeah,
in almost
it's
every
always a mistake.
fairy tale thing.
It's always a mistake
he's always
to feature Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, he's always some grotesque, bloated, egg-shaped pedophile with some soulless smile, like
that was pretty good.
The best thing Humpty Dumpty ever did for the universe
was fall off his wall
and perish. The best thing he did was remove himself from the world.
Yeah.
And all the king's horses and all the coot men should not put him back together again.
They couldn't
and
do
yet,
it.
every failed fairy tale themed thing that in existence tries to resuscitate the mangled corpse that is the story of Humpty Dumpty. And it's no different here. He's horrific.
Yeah, he's grotesque. There's some pretty horrifying witches.
Yeah, I mean, witches are supposed to be horrifying.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I'm just saying, Disneyland witches don't tend to be quite that grotesque and ugly.
No,
they really went into the ugly part of it.
They did. They went straight up horror movie in the haunted house.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
What?
We're turning right.
Oh.
The haunted house was horrifying.
In fact, it's almost more faithful because anyone who's read those original fairy tales, anyone who's you're such a dick. Anyone who's read those original fairy tales knows that like they are cutesy, but there's just like
horrifying
this undercurrent where things can go a little bit deadly just at any moment. He's a very scary spider.
Very creepy, very, very pervy vibes.
Yeah, and you know what? This park definitely captured that in a way Disneyland definitely never had the balls to, right? Like everything's just a little bit
ugly,
vaguely ominous.
Yeah.
So legitimately, when the curtain first opened, I thought it was like a corpse, like someone whacked themselves in Geppetto's closet.
I know, right? Like a zombie or a witch. When I first came down, I thought it was a witch shopping.
Yeah.
Look how scary she is. Someone dropped the ball on the charming fairy.
Whoopsie. You know, the whole thing was charmingly janky.
Yes.
A couple of rides, a handful of rides, which are very expensive when you really break it down. They works on the old ticket system. And
it's about $5 per rider per ride.
Per ride, yeah. And there were a suspicious number of rules. I've never gotten on a roller coaster. You know, Disneyland, you get in the roller coaster, like hands, arms inside, don't die, have fun. Off you go.
This one they took a 3-minute pause before they sent you on your way once you were sitting in the rides to explain what not to do.
Yes.
Holding up the lines, holding the log from floating away.
Yeah, at one point on the log ride, he's like, now when you go down the big drop, be sure you lean back. What happens if I don't? This feels suddenly less safe.
Die.
Yeah.
You fly out of the log and hit a tree.
Just like I'd never considered that a log ride could be dangerous. I was much more at ease before he said, be sure you lay back. Like, what now? He's like, hold on to the sides. Disneyland doesn't tell you to hang on to the sides.
Disneyland doesn't care what you do.
Disneyland doesn't care if you come back. There's a bear.
Aww.
I'm sure it was safe, but the whole thing was just so vaguely janky that it felt less safe in a good way. If I had just walked in and knew absolutely nothing about this park at all. In fact, that's very close to what I did. But I had it picked from the moment I set foot inside. This is somebody's brainchild that had a lot of enthusiasm, not a lot of money, right? I mean, relatively speaking, for a theme park. Not like the support of some conglomerate. It doesn't feel like the sufficient, well-designed product that comes, out of a corporation's think tank.
Somebody's been eating my porridge.
This is just some guy squatted out in the woods and goes, here I shall build my empire. And he did it.